Hi, I'm Latrina Patrick with Vision University. That is my online platform that's designed to help you become the best version of yourself. And to do that, we use a mind, body, and spirit approach. Now, right now, we are talking about the ABCs of grant writing. We have made our way through the alphabet and we have come through up into the letter M. And today, we are going to take a look at the letter N. And what that means is the N stands for never make promises that you can't deliver. N is for never make promises you can't deliver. When it comes to grant writing, you have to be very clear about what it is you can do, and you don't want to fall into the trap of over promising. This is an easy trap for grassroots organizations and inexperienced grant writers to fall into, because they assume if we promise more, then we can get more attention and we'll probably get funded. And that's not necessarily the case. Yes, it's great if your organization has the capacity to deal with large numbers of whoever your target population is that you're serving, whether it's students, adults, whatever. Yeah, if you can, great, go for it. It does look good. But if you can't, don't overpromise because you think that makes you more competitive. All you're being judged on because they're looking at the entire picture of your proposal. So by the time they get through your proposal, they will have a clear picture. If you've written it well, they will have a clear picture of what your organization is about, what you do, and the capacity that you have, including your funding, your budget, your staff, your experience, all of that. And so they're looking at that. And based on that, they're looking at your capacity and your ability to perform the task that you've outlined in that proposal. And if you are an organization that's relatively small or trying to get to an intermediate status, and you're trying to promise that you're going to serve an entire county of students, then that's probably not very realistic or feasible. So don't get caught up into thinking you have to go big. Just be realistic and just address the problems that you describe from the capacity that your organization has. So don't overpromise. And under promising, and so under promise and over deliver. And I don't want you to take that out of context, meaning that you should lowball. It doesn't mean you need to lowball, but you need to be realistic and you need to judge it based on your organizational capacity. So don't lowball, but just instead, when I say under promise and over deliver, just that means striving for excellence by doing more than is expected. So if you promise to reach 50 students and you see that you could possibly hit 60, go for the 60, but so be realistic, but don't under promise just because you think it's going to make it look good, just to get more than you promised when you know that the number you estimated was way lower than you actually could serve. So keep it in that frame, keep your mind set in that framework, knowing that, I want to under promise, but I still want to be realistic. Okay? Because you don't want to make promises that you can't deliver. You are being judged on what you say you can do. That's how the funder and the reviewers are looking at your application. So if you're saying that you can do this and you somehow manage to convince them that you can do it, once your grant proposal is funded, that proposal becomes the terms of your contract. So when they start, especially for larger grants with the feds or state or whoever, they are really taking the terminology and the language and the goals that you've outlined that inside that proposal, and that's going into the contract of service. That's what you're being held accountable to. So just remember that when you're writing the grant proposal, it becomes it's a live document that becomes your Bible when you get funded. So don't promise something you cannot do on the back end once you get funded, because you're going to be held accountable. If you said you could do it, it's expected. So you're going to be held accountable for what you said you would do. And when you overpromise and you make promises that you can't deliver, this actually causes more harm than good when you overpromise, because it could hinder your current funding and your future funding. So depending on who you've made these promises to and the level of accountability they're providing to your organization, it could stop them from funding what you're doing, and it puts you in a bad spot moving forward. Because if you're at a local level, funders and foundations and corporate givers, they are connected to each other. And if you get a bad reputation, a lot of times that information will be shared. And so it could hurt you from other organizations funding you, not just from renewal funding from the people who funded you initially, but hurt your chances with other funders as well. It's all relational, especially at the local level. And of course, at the Fed level, it's very much the same. You get on a bad list from not meeting your goals and objectives and having to return funds or having funds taken from you, which is even worse. That goes through the feds pretty quickly, and that can really blackball you. So it could hurt you in the long run if you get into a practice of promising something that you cannot deliver. So the bottom line is just be realistic and focus on what you can attain. That's a winning strategy all day, every day. Now, if you like more grant writing tips, make sure you are subscribing to my email updates at visionuniversity.com. I send out a weekly email every Tuesday with inspirational content. Sometimes it includes videos about grant writing or other things in the mind, body, spirit realm that I think will be helpful to you. You'll also get updates about my upcoming Grant University that's going to launch on May 2nd. It's a 4-week course that's really targeting beginning grant writers to help you get to the next level. 4 weeks is going to really take you from a beginner or a novice to that, give you that foundation, that solid foundation, and build your confidence, because you're going to be equipped with the skills you need to be successful and to get funding for your organization. It's going to be a really, really awesome training, and you really want to get into that program if you're really serious about becoming a better grant writer. And then, of course, if you have not seen all the other videos and you want to get caught up, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is also Vision University, so that you can access all of the videos I've already produced and others on other subjects as well. So you can make sure you stay in the loop by subscribing to my YouTube channel. In the meantime, I want you to remember to create the vision for the life that you desire and you deserve, because you are the only one who can.